Today on the list, keep your garage clutter-free this winter. Get a sneak peek at Mario and Luigi's newest adventure and how to bring old jewelry into 2023.
Taking some timeless pieces but adding a modern take on it.
Plus,
the only people that listen to me are dead people.
What psychics actually see and hear.
It so freaks me out. I literally was afraid to go to bed.
But first, what you can do to keep your New Year's resolutions. It's your life, it's your list, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy Rhodes.
And I'm Christina Guerrero. By now, many of us have let our New Year's resolutions fall by the wayside. But guys, if you want 2023 to be the best year ever, it is not too late to get off the sidelines and get in the game.
Just take it from this guy. Former Chicago Bears defensive back Matt Mayberry has experienced a lot: injury, heartbreak, even addiction. But he came out the other side, and now he's sharing his secrets for bouncing back.
That's right. He's coaching up Hattie Bijamal on strategies to tackle those goals and achieve success. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
The parties are over and we are well into our New Year's resolutions. But
92% of people that set New Year's resolutions do not achieve those New Year's resolutions.
Don't be a statistic. Leadership consultant and former NFL linebacker Matt Mayberry has tips to help us manifest our New Year's goals. And it starts by focusing on the process, not the results.
So focusing on the process is you still set your goals, you still have your vision of the future, but then you got to reverse engineer back to the present moment of what new habits.
That means creating a strategy.
For example, if we're going to actually lose 25 pounds, we have to write that goal down. But even more important, we actually have to write down what do we have to do daily.
He says signing up for a gym membership or a month's worth of fitness classes is a good start.
Because the moment you throw money and you hire a professional to actually hold you accountable, and now you make that appointment with yourself, you're that much more likely to get going and start that habit.
Matt is a fan of tracking progress for any resolution. Mark down each day you worked out. Seeing it in writing can be powerful.
It's finding those little daily wins that we can stack on top of each other, and doing that over time is going to put you in a position to eventually lose that 25 pounds.
Next up, no matter your goal, Matt says first and foremost, prioritize you.
You may not get paid like a professional athlete to take care of your body, but the positive effects is really just, it's exponential of how that creates a domino effect in every area of your life.
Matt says this mindset will help pave the way to what we need most.
A lot of people think that we need more time. That's not it. We all have 24 hours in a day, right? What we need more of is we need more energy. We need more energy to be able to prioritize the things that are important to us in our lives that is really going to help fulfill us.
Matt's last tip to help see our New Year's goals to fruition is to deal with your dread.
I think it was Dale Carnegie that said, do the thing you fear to do and keep on doing it. That is the quickest and surest way that has ever been discovered to conquer fear. And I wholeheartedly believe that.
Matt makes it a point to write down each day what he fears or dislikes the most from his to-do list.
What is one thing that I'm fearful of that I've been putting off that I'm going to do today? It could be getting in an ice bath. It could be going for a 3-mile run. It could be, getting up an hour earlier. I'm not a morning person. What can I do today that's going to get me out of my comfort zone and then really step into that?
Matt recommends a daily meditation app. There are free and paid versions available for your smartphone. He suggests finding quiet time each day to practice this.
Whatever that time is for you, that it's sacred. For just 10 minutes, you're going to practice being mindful.
To learn more about Matt's tips for success, check out his new book, Culture is the Way. It's in stores and online February 1st. Giving ourselves a winning chance at achieving New Year's goals is on the top of the list.
Even for those folks who soak up home improvement shows and love working on their houses, maintaining your garage doesn't exactly qualify as a glamour job. But don't underestimate its importance. We've got maintenance tips to help keep your garage happy and healthy all through the winter.
We put so much care into our home, and the garage should be no exception.
What is the garage to a household? I know as a guy, I love the garage.
For me, it's everything. It's 40% of the curb uphill, the smile of your home. It's the man cave. A lot of time spent in the garage, especially if you do things outdoors.
We met with Tommy Mello, founder of A1 Garage Door Service, to bring you some wintertime safety tips to make sure it's a safe place to be for the whole family. First, some things to know about cleaning time.
It feels good to have a clean home, and it feels good when you walk into a house and it's clean. In the garage, is the same feeling.
Do a quick sweep to clean out cobwebs, bugs, and dust so larger critters don't want to come in from the cold. And especially focus on those corners.
Another thing I recommend is, you know those little things that catch the bugs? They're the little sticky pads. Yep. Put those in each corner because that's where the bugs come from, the corners of the garage.
And once it's all nice and tidy, it's time to get organized.
How can I maximize my garage?
Well, it's nice to put everything up. The bins that slide in. You've also got the overhead storage, and you got the cabinetry. Keeping things organized, the Christmas, your golf clubs, your camping equipment. It's easy to have storage out here.
For those things you don't want kids or pets to get a hold of.
When I think of garages, the garage I grew up in, there were so many hazardous materials.
Anything like paint or chemicals, leave at a high point that the kids can't get a hold of. Also, I recommend locking your toolbox up and lock up the beer, because we all know the kids come get that.
You're the fun governor.
Yes.
Finally, even a clean and organized space can also have some hidden hazards, so take some time to inspect, and your garage door is the place to start.
There's two areas.
Yeah.
It's the trim around the sides. It's got a little protection to stop all the leaves and everything from coming in. But the bottom rubber, #1 entryway of your home for pests. That's why we always say keep your door shut and make sure to have a tight seal. And see how that's got some play in it? That's going to create a really nice tight seal. Okay. That's going to keep all the weather out. It's also going to keep the bugs out.
Okay, so especially in cold weather, it might chip or break.
Yeah, exactly.
Also important to check your lighting.
This is where people fall. It's dark in the morning in the winter.
Yeah.
Dark when we go to work. So you want to make sure you've got a lot of lights in the garage, visibility, so you know where you're walking. You don't want to misstep. And it's nice to be there because you've got a lot of things in the garage, so you want it to be well lit.
So organize it, inspect it, and make it nice.
That's right. That is exactly right.
And those are some helpful tips to ensure the wintertime safety of your garage.
When most of us think about keeping up with the latest fashions, we focus on things like clothing and shoes, but why stop there? We are looking at why it may be time to update your jewelry wardrobe.
A lot of us follow the trends with our clothes, but there may be other pieces that can use an update. According to MJ Lamanilau, manager of Robbins Brothers in Scottsdale, Arizona, updating your jewelry and knowing what to keep is an important concept too.
Kind of like how you have that classic white shirt with those denim jeans or like a little black dress. It's kind of the same take on it.
And she says there are lots of ways to go about it.
You can always start off with a simple solitaire pendant, so that's just a single stone, or going into some traditional things like maybe like a heart pendant that I'm wearing, or some hoop earrings, diamond studs, diamond hoop earrings. There's so many ways that you can build up your wardrobe.
She says the best way to start is to layer and mix your accessories.
The newest trends would be layering your necklaces, adding different types of chains, stacking your bracelets, and taking some timeless pieces but adding a modern take on it.
How many pieces should we be layering on top of each other?
I think 3 to 4 is good. I think anything more than that is just a little bit too crazy.
And don't be afraid to mix metals.
If you already have a silver necklace and you're looking to buy something that's gold, you can always marry those two together, so they are almost like a two-tone look, which is super trendy.
Next up, invest wisely.
Investing in just like your staple pieces, diamond solitaire pendant, diamond earrings, gold hoop earrings, because that's always a staple.
What do you make sure that you keep?
I think you should always keep a simple gold chain, a tennis bracelet, a diamond pendant. Those are always timeless and classic.
And for those mementos that might be dated but still hold meaning, she suggests updating them to feel more modern.
And you also don't have to necessarily buy all brand new stuff. It's really taking what you already have and putting it together.
Exactly.
Like the classic pearl necklace.
So how do I take a pearl necklace, maybe that's been handed down from a grandma or an aunt, and really bring it into 2023?
You can restring them so they're almost like a choker necklace. That would be super cute, or even shortening it to make a bracelet.
But then there are things that just don't make the cut.
What kinds of things should we be getting rid of?
I don't see rose gold trending really anymore.
Another trend she sees that's going away?
Geometric shapes, so like your triangles or hexagon pendants and earrings, those aren't really trending.
So get an early start on spring cleaning and update your jewelry closet in 2023. Still to come on the list, how to know if you have psychic abilities.
So it's all about finding the way that you connect.
and preview the latest thrills at theme parks across America.
Excitement branches out in all directions.
Plus, the next generation of the L Word is breaking new ground.
You're just like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on television.
All that and more ahead on the list.
Welcome back. And KG, maybe one of the biggest questions we all have is what happens when we leave this world?
Yes, and maybe our best chance of knowing is to ask a psychic medium, one of those folks who can apparently contact people who've passed. But Jimmy, what exactly can they really see and hear?
I have no idea, but Jackie Denker's going straight to the source with questions you've always wanted to ask a psychic medium.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a psychic medium?
When I was just a little kid, for me it was like living that movie, The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
It's literally when I would go to bed, I would sense and feel people who had died.
I know, it sounds wild to a lot of us, I'm sure, prompting lots of questions on what it's like to have those abilities. So to answer, we spoke with famed psychic medium and star of E's Meet the Frasers, Matt Fraser.
The only people that listen to me are dead people.
First of all, what is it like to learn you have the ability to see people who have passed?
Did it freak you out? Oh my God, it so freaked me out. I literally was afraid to go to bed because I knew that the moment I was alone or the moment that I went to bed, that the voices would start, and I had no way of controlling it.
Did you see people pop up like under your bed? Like, it sounds so scary.
So what's really weird is this. My gift has changed as I've gotten older. So when I was a little kid, I would see and hear the departed. But being older now, they reach me through my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Do I still see figures and souls? Absolutely. But the direct connection for me is really sensing, feeling, and hearing them.
Who is missing the finger?
He had that trigger finger.
The most important finger?
Next, does being a psychic medium run in the family?
Well, my grandmother was a medium, and my mom is as well. You gotta remember that when I say that they're a medium, a lot of people think that, oh, well, they had a career in this. No, they just had the ability. They did it in the secret of their home just for close friends and family.
Wow, so is it passed on by genetics?
Yes and no. I like to think of it as being hereditary, but it all depends on if we inherit that ability or not. My sister can't see, sense, or feel anything, to be honest with you.
Our next burning question, can psychic mediums really tell the future?
I saw something of Meet the Frasers, your show earlier, and one thing had me cracking up.
You're supposed to be a psychic. You're telling me you didn't see this coming?
Maria, how could I see the weather coming? The weatherman can't even see the weather, and he's got a satellite up in space.
Well, here's what's so funny, because when we pass on, we're able to see today, tomorrow, and the future. So when a medium is predicting something, what they're really doing is talking to someone that you've loved, and talking to that person is telling them what's going to happen in the future.
Finally, how can we tell if we have psychic abilities?
We all have an ability, and here's what I want you to know is that every single psychic and medium is different. Every medium is different. Some mediums will go and actually use cards, like tarot cards or different things to connect. So it's all about finding the way that you connect.
We're picking the brain of a psychic medium.
Okay, if seeing that calendar flip over to 2023 gave you the itch to start planning this year's vacation, great news. Teresa Strasser found a few new theme park attractions opening soon. Hey, Teresa.
Thank you. These theme parks have been highly anticipated for years, and 2023 is finally the year that they will all be open. Coming in at number 1, Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood in California.
Hey, hello,
Welcome to Toadstool Cafe!
This Mario-themed attraction will allow visitors to enter the game's iconic green pipes and wear power-up bands to play interactive games throughout the land. But the most promising part is the Mario Kart-inspired ride. Guests will collect coins and throw shells to win the Golden Cup for Team Mario. Super Nintendo World will be open on February 17th. At number 2, Big Bear Mountain, that's at Dollywood Theme Park in Tennessee.
Excitement branches out in all directions.
This incredible roller coaster will be taking guests on an unforgettable ride in search of the Big Bear across the park.
The residents of Black Bear Trail couldn't be friendlier. In fact, they're happy to provide a ride while introducing visitors to the bear basics.
This family-friendly expedition will include onboard music and announcements. It's set to open this spring. And last on our new theme park attractions list is TRON LIGHTCYCLE Run at Disney World's Magic Kingdom in Florida.
It's a unique coaster experience for us because you're kind of sitting on the back of a motorcycle.
This new roller coaster is based on the TRON franchise, and it's been in the works for a few years.
So we're just getting to the end of what we're referring to as phase 1, which is the basic setup of the system. Now we're moving into what we're referring to as phase 2.
Visitors will be seated side by side and taken for an incredible ride under a canopy. And this attraction is scheduled to debut on April 4th. Those were a few attractions taking visitors on extraordinary rides across America. Lots more to come on the list. Stay right here.
We are back, and today on the watch list, we're talking about the L word, which in this case could stand for legacy. It's the first series, which is told by a predominantly LGBTQ+ cast and crew, and it's been back for a while now, and now the sequel is becoming a staple. So we talked to some of the stars of the L word, Generation Q.
You guys are the best.
The groundbreaking drama, The L Word, wrapped up its 6th season back in 2009, and its sequel series, The L Word Generation Q, has been going strong since 2019.
I missed you. Yeah, I believe I missed you more.
I call it like the lesbian entourage of sorts. The friend dynamic and relationships in Los Angeles. None of us are actors, but everything else is very entourage-like to me, but through a queer lens.
3 of the stars told us about continuing the legacy of the original series as season 3 is on Showtime.
I think it's going to be really interesting to watch.
First, anyone can relate to what the characters go through.
It feels very universal, a lot of the storylines, especially relationship-wise.
It touches on things that relate to any sort of relationship, queer or not.
You're my person. I love you. I love you too.
Love and sibling dynamics and work and what it means to balance work and your love life.
It really is for all people experiencing anything.
The messy parts of people's lives are always the most relatable.
Next, the importance of on-screen representation.
We are starting a family.
That is biologically impossible.
It kind of just opens up your eyes and you're just like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this on television.
Whether you're gay or you're straight or you're bisexual, you just go with the flow.
Seasons 2 and now 3, we've added even more to the melting pot, more inclusion, more voices, and now more than ever, I think there's a place for everyone to identify.
I want to have a baby, but I don't want to push you into something that you're not ready for.
Finally, there's a lot to learn from watching.
I think there's a big theme in this show about doing what you think is right versus doing what will make you happy. It's really cool to see these characters work through that problem and find out who they are and how they love and who they love.
So you're in love with me.
Just answer the question. No one story is the same. There can be similarities from one story to the next that can be unifying in a very positive way, but I think you don't have to match somebody else's story. Your story can be completely different, and that doesn't make it any less valuable or special. It's your story, so don't let anybody else's story dictate yours. Give yourself the space and just explore.
Generation Q. Our time here is limited. Reminds me not to waste another second.
Putting the L Word on your watch list. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's time for what's last on our list. And KG, I sent you this headline from Axios earlier.
Yes, the USDA approves world's first vaccine for honeybees.
Now, how are they going to get those shots into those tiny little bee arms?
Jimmy, good grief. Didn't you read past the headline right there in the article? It says the vaccine is incorporated into the royal jelly by the worker bees, who then feed it to the queen. So then the next generation of bees will have immunity. So don't worry, no long lines of bees at CVS trying to get a shot. But you know, Jimmy, this is actually huge because losing bees would be a huge blow to agriculture and global food security.
Okay, hold your horses there. When I was a kid, I stepped on a ground hive and I got swarmed by bees, stung like a zillion times, so I kind of have BTSD.
Yeah.
So an article I read years ago has always stuck with me from Global Citizens. Shrinking bee populations are being replaced by human pollinators. They use little brushes and they hand pollinate, and they got way more fruit per tree, and that increased yield meant that it can be cost effective, because remember, it costs money to rent hives to pollinate your fields.
Jimmy, okay, it is more cost effective if I host this show without you. That does not necessarily mean that I want you extinct.
That escalated, but you know what? I could always be a crop pollinator.
All right, why don't you just stick with TV and let them vaccinate the beehives?
All right.
All right, and that's what's last on our list. Friends, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Tomorrow on the list, why self-love is so vital to mental health.
If we don't see ourselves as most important, we will continuously put someone else in front of us.
Plus,
a lot of people are worried about turning orange and it just not looking very natural.
What you need to know about spray tans this winter.
We've come so far in the world of sunless tanning.
And the true story of the robot who spent 15 years on Mars.
Her scientific legacy is huge.
Tomorrow on the list.